Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. Today we're having some rain, so I'm broadcasting from the bedroom. Isn't that for fun? Hooray! Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Lori. Thanks for writing to me. Yay. So, as always, raise your hand if you'd like to speak with me. And you can also type in, you can type questions in. Let me just make sure that we are recording. Yes, we are. Hooray. Phoebe's on Skype. Oh, aloha, Phoebe. Okay, so I have a question here that I said I would start with. Okay, this is really fun. And if you have anything else, just let me know. Yay. And let me know if you have questions while I'm going over this. Feel free to text them to me. I'll get to them. All right, so here goes the first part of the question. I'm a mess right now, a total mess. How do I care so much about doing a good job? I have to work with someone who must recognize this about me and in return expresses how she doesn't give a shit. I'm a CNA and she's an LPN. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe LPN's above it. I don't know. CNA, I think that's a nurse assistant. Oh, you got it. Thanks, Lori. Thank you for clarifying that. So it looks like one of them's the boss. Last night, it really got to me. We locked eyes with our feelings toward each other, and it shook me inside. I've been a mess ever since. I'm a very delayed person. Yes, still sharp and knowledgeable, but there is no impulse on my tongue for sassy or quick comebacks. I want to defend myself. I want to not give a shit. I don't want to absorb. Okay, so we had a little bit of a conversation here. You know, I reminded her, you're not a person. You can't absorb. Okay, there's the thing. This idea that the person that's projected into your field of experience is actually who you are, and two, that somehow it can absorb energies or be affected by energies that are in the environment. Remember, we talked about last time, there's no environment. That's make-believe. It's a projection. Okay, so ride the ride, have the experience, complete with all of the feelings. Complete with all of the feelings. What's making you feel a mess is judgment about who you are and how you should be. Okay, this idea like, oh, I should have been quicker with a response, like some kind of sassy response or something like that. That doesn't help you. Might give you some kind of an ego gratification for a moment, but since you like to play that kind of role, you're going to get more opportunities to play that kind of role, which you may or may not appreciate, depending on where you are in the mind. You know, there's a certain point in time where being sassy and having quick and rude remarks, that's what you want. That's what you're going for. But when they're not coming for you and you don't feel like that's natural for you, that's just not what's going on for you. It's okay. It's awesome, actually. So, and I want to not give a shit. Well, you can't not give a shit when you give a shit. That's the thing. So all of this is resistance to feeling. It's a resistance to riding the ride, which is really a feeling ride. You know, and it's fun when you're able to ride the feeling ride. And here's the thing. When you're willing to ride the ride, and this is what I mean by it, letting that energy of upset, letting it get intense, just letting it intensify within your body's energy field, and just watching how you respond on the surface, because you have no say in how you respond on the surface. Believe it or not, it looks like you do, but you actually have no say about how you respond on the surface of things. That's coming automatically. It's a projection of thoughts that have gone before. It's sort of like the past playing out, see? But the ride, the experience, the feelings that are coming up, that's right now. That's what's right now. And that's where all your power is. See? So if you get engaged in a thought process that wants to control you on the surface level, it's a total distraction. Like for right now, I don't want to absorb. It's trying to control you. I don't want this to be happening. You don't need to be controlled. You don't need to be disciplined into anything. Just watch and be there as, you could say, I've called it presence before. I've also called it absence, because it's not like you're to be identified as a person. And then at the same time, it's a sort of presence, because there's willingness to experience what is present now, which is all of the sensations that are being registered in the body's energy field. That's really what's present now. It's not really that your perception is the past. It's your past projections playing out. Okay? So just the thought that says, I wish I had the right response, that's a distraction. That's a total distraction. Whatever response you give, that is the right response. That's the response you want to see. That's the response you want to experience as an energy sensation. This is a full-on emotional journey. There's nothing else to it but that. What you see on the surface is a projection of emotions. See? And I know the ego fear that comes up. Well, if I'm not controlling myself as a person, how will I make this better? How will I get better at this? And here's the thing. It happens automatically. It's not of yourself. It's like grace happens automatically when you're willing to have the experience, when you're willing to have whatever energy sensation is arising and not be in resistance to it or trying to judge it. Whatever needs to be said, whatever needs to be done, that's all coming naturally. And the more you're meeting those energy sensations in your body's energy field, the more you're relaxed and open to channel it. Okay? Open to channel it. It's kind of like here on Wisdom Dialogues, what's being shared is love. Okay? That's the only real feeling there is. All the other feelings are fabricated. What's being shared here, what's being communicated, is love. It's not so much the words. The words are there for your mind's entertainment. They may be used as pointers by you, but that's not really what's being shared. We're all projecting on an energy level. Okay? And here's another thing that's interesting. Love is all that can be shared. It's all that can be shared. All of those other emotions, let's say the fabricated emotions, they can only be projected, and anything that's projected is kind of like a teaching. It's like a teaching, and you decide whether you would like to learn that or not. You decide whether you'd like that lesson. No one else chooses for you whether you'd like a lesson in delusion. That's all up to you, including when you see yourself, or whether you even know that you see yourself as a little tiny baby. Okay, you decide whether to pick up on those frequencies and learn that. Okay, you decide always. In fact, it seems to me that little tiny babies don't even choose to start getting in on the delusion until they're somewhere around 2 or 3 years old. As a little tiny baby. It's like, as this weird energy, let's say it's a weird energy, this delusional energy, you're being bombarded by it so much, keep on being bombarded by it, and then it seems like, oh yeah, let's jump in, let's play. Okay, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I have a distinct memory impression being about 12 years old and recognizing that, what is this? What's going on here? You know? Everyone's crazy. And then starting to have these deep thoughts and making a specific choice to not think that. To not think that. I'm diving in here. It's almost like it reminds me of getting in, for going in for some surgery and going under. I had this experience going under, and then waking up in the middle of it and go, oh, no, it's not time to wake up. Go back to sleep. Don't even go there. Don't even go there in thought, okay? That's how it is. That's how it is. I see hands and I see questions, and I'm all up on it as soon as I get through with this one that I have for Abby. I'll be over to those ones. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, what's making you feel a mess is the judgment about who you are and how you should be. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show of you. You could say it's the Abby show, or put your name in there. Whatever name you got. Henrietta's on with us. Henrietta, that's really Kaunohi, isn't it? Aloha, Kaunohi. Put Kaunohi in there if you want. Enjoy the Kaunohi show. Yeah. See, you're unchanged and unaffected by it. That's the truth. You're unchanged and unaffected by anything that you appear to do, any emotion that you appear to be in. You're totally good. You're totally golden, always golden, never changed. All it is this choosing to go along with the delusion. It's like an agreement. Okay? It's like an agreement to act as a separate individual. So she said, okay, so there's no situation, and I need to stand firm on the fact that she nor anyone else can be in the Abby. Well, they can be in it. They can be in the Abby show, because here's how it is. It's like you take a person, which is basically thought. Basically thought. You do not see them as they are. Do not see them as they are. Okay? Basically a construct of thought, and pop them into your field of experience. Just pop them in there, just for fun. Okay, to show you what thoughts you cherish. And look, don't look at it like this. Don't look at it as if their reflection is showing you what thoughts you cherish. No, no, no. It's your reaction to it. Okay? So someone can come up and say, for instance, Christine, you're a real asshole. And that is completely meaningless. Completely meaningless. What's a signal for you is your reaction to it. That shows you right there how much personal attachment you have, how much personal attachment you made. It shows you, indicates how much you have tried to modify yourself with thought. Modify yourself from perfection. Okay? So people get this wrong a lot. It's like, well, if you're getting that reflection, then that must mean something about you. No, it never means anything about you. It doesn't ever touch you. No part of it means anything about you. It's completely meaningless. Your reaction to it is just an indication of how much you've tried to modify yourself in thought. You can't really modify yourself. You're perfection. You've never been separate from the Creator. You could say you as yourself are a creation, an extension of the Creator. Okay? And everyone else is a perfect extension of the Creator. Everyone else is also a perfect extension of the Creator, whom you are not separate from. Okay? So you're not seeing them as they are. You could say they're doing you a favor, though, because they're showing you your reaction. They're not showing you anything about yourself. They're showing you your reaction. So when you take it to be about yourself, then you got issues, don't you? Apparently, because the mind's running like crazy. Why am I this? Why am I that? You know, why don't I be better? Why don't I get better at this? Why am I absorbing? Why am I this? Why am I that? You know, if you get clear on what this is, and if you're here on Wisdom Dialogues, that's what you're interested in. You get clear on what this is. Let me say it one more time because it bears repeating, okay? Nothing that anyone says or does reflects you. It has nothing to do with you. It's completely meaningless. They're giving you that reflection as a favor because they love you. It's not really exactly the way they are. You've painted a picture. Your reaction is the gift. It's a signal. It lets you know how much you've tried to modify yourself in thought from the perfect creation that you are. So hooray! So hooray. All right, I think we covered that pretty well. Let's see what else she's got here. What is the point of my own show? The point of your own show is undoing the thought of separation, which is the basis for all of this, which is the basis for a show. A show meaning this is not one bit real, okay? It's a perception. It has nothing to do with reality, and reality is still there for you. It's still intact. It's still there. It's a matter of seeing through the illusion and you know reality. The purpose of the show is to take you back to who you are, to take you back to reality. Because without the show, there is only the mind without manifestation. And with only the mind without manifestation, lost in delusion, as in lost in separation, that would be what we would call purgatory. I think in my definition is this place where you stay forever and ever and it's totally screwed up. Okay? That's what it would be like. Because the pain of guilt of believing that you separated yourself from the Creator, and the fear of threat, the fear of harm coming to you, death, basically, it could never be undone without manifestation. So manifestation is a gift in that sense, okay? When they show you who they are, you say thank you. Oh, I do. Yes, definitely. Yes, it's such a gift. Exactly. Well, let's clarify. They show you who you think you are, who you think they are. They can never reflect who you are because this is an illusion, okay? You have to claim who you are. That's up to you. All right, I will listen to some more videos. Okay, so basically I get so upset, turn blood red, sobbing. Yeah, that's just because you don't know who you are. It has nothing to do with her. You know, if you know who you are, and this is why we're having wisdom dialogue so you can see through. This becomes a lot of fun because it's not personal. It becomes, it's just fun to see what will she say? As in, what will Abby say? I don't know what's going to happen. It's fun to watch, okay? Okay. The situation didn't go my way. Yeah, it did go your way. It did go your way. You just didn't know how to approach it. Perhaps this clears things up a little bit and you can be excited about this kind of thing happening again, because it most certainly will. It most certainly will, until you can have fun with it. And then once it comes up and you're having fun with it, you will not mind. You will not mind. Every time there's a healing, every time there's greater and greater comfort with it, okay? All right. I felt what it was like when you let someone else take over. Good, good, that's good. That's basically letting your ego take over. You could say your ego, because the ego that you chose. You said, let me experience this. Okay, I'll believe that. Okay, I'll believe that. Okay, I'll believe that. And as a child, before you know any words, it's like, okay, I'll buy into that energy. Not with words or anything, but it's a feeling that you will get. It's a train that you'll get on, like a full feeling train, okay? And that's how you make the ego. It's not one bit real. All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh. What it was like, yeah, it seems like someone else took over. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like you made this fabrication of an ego and it took over because you let it. Because of innocence. It's not like it's not like you knew any better. See how innocent you are in all of this? It's not like you knew any better. And that's what wisdom dialogues is for, so that you can know better. And when you know better, you do better, so to speak. But this is not a surface thing at all. You do better, as in you're open to seeing what this is really about, instead of buying into it as if it's some kind of reality. I can admit I gave that twat. Okay. She's a twat now. That's fun. More credit than she deserves. But I did that. I got the full force of that experience. Yeah, basically, you gave your thought, because there's no twat. Okay? There's no twat. But what there is your painting of a twat over perfection. Over perfection. Okay? It's your own thought. It's taking that. It's giving that more credit. It's giving your thought about her, as in who she is and who you are, more credit than it deserves. Definitely. Because it actually deserves no credit. Hooray. Okay. In order to not do this again, well, see, the thing is, there's no in order to not do this again, because if you find yourself acting out of emotion, awesome. Awesome. Your reaction is what's there to be witnessed by you. Forget about how you look to other people, because, there is not other people like that. Well, however they perceive you is for them and has nothing to do with you. However they perceive you is for them. Okay? So, and however you're responding, that's for you alone to see. Alone. When you start thinking about how you look to other people and stuff like that, you're distracted as can be. You're as distracted as can be. You don't look to other people. You don't look to other people. You pretend to look to other people, but really what you're looking to is ego thoughts. You're looking to the thoughts of the ego. Okay? There's no rule, there's no program, there's no anything about how you should act, how you should interact at work. If a should about how you should be comes up anytime, give it a red flag. Give it a big red flag. It's a distraction. It's a total distraction. It prevents you from hearing, from listening to the spirit within you that's always there to comfort you. That's always to comfort you. It's like, we talked about before, the thread of bliss, or the Holy Spirit, the thought system of the Holy Spirit. It's always there to comfort you when you're not pursuing thoughts that feel like shit, basically. When you're not pursuing those, it's always there. It loves you so much. It is you. Okay, so there's no in order to not do this again. Please watch. Please just watch with an open heart, with an open mind, with you could use the mantra, let me see. That one works. It's so much more powerful than let me see how I should be. Let me see through the perception, Okay. Yeah. Okay. And at the end, she says, it's how I blow shit off. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. These kinds of thoughts about how you should be, and I don't want this to happen again, they actually diffuse the feeling. They diffuse the feeling for you because they distract you, so you cannot get the full intensity. You cannot get the full ride of that intensity of that feeling that's made out of delusional thought structures. Okay? So it's a way to lessen it for you. It's a way to lessen it. Just watch that. Don't try. Just watch that. When you recognize that the thought pattern that's leading toward how do I get this to stop is a distraction, you'll naturally come to be less interested in it. Naturally, as you can embody this more intense delusional feeling, it has to be embodied to be healed. But, fear about embodying it is so strong that you can't control yourself on that either. You can only just watch. You can only just watch with awareness. Okay? We're sowing the seeds of awareness right now. Isn't that fun? You reap what you sow. Hooray. All right. Okay, fun. Okay, so this is nice and covered. Yay. Yay. I saw a hand earlier. Lori, that was you. I don't know if you changed your mind and you decided not to come on with me, but if you still want to come on, pop that baby back up. Same for anyone else. Oh, there it is. And I do see a message here asking me to talk on something else. That'll be next, okay? Thank you
Hi.
so much. Yay.
Oh my God, Hope. So much has happened since I last talked to you. It's unbelievable how
And then
much.
nothing happened at the same
Well,
time.
okay, you know what? I'm in the dream. In the dream, Lori, very clear. Like, wow.
Yay.
Yeah, really, yay. God damn. It's one thing.
Yeah.
My granddaughter had an experience this weekend. She's 9, and she had an experience this weekend when her brother was here, and she had some jealousy come up,
Okay.
and it seems she doesn't want to talk like this. I
Uh-huh.
think it's more about because Phoebe got to talk to her last Friday about her feelings.
Uh-huh.
I got to see that, and I said to her, so the difference is that Lolly is more teaching and Phoebe is more about feeling. And she goes, you got it. That's exactly what? I can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
No, I was talking to my granddaughter.
Oh.
I was just wondering how to talk to her
Uh-huh.
about it to have her feel better.
Okay. Oh, is that the question?
Yeah, well, I know she's perfect and whole in the whole situation, but
Uh-huh.
you know,
Okay. It always comes down to the exact same thing. There is no how to talk to her about it. There
right.
is no formula for that. There
Yeah.
really isn't. I promise you. It's all it is getting in touch with that discomfort. Getting in touch with that discomforted and let it be comforted. The way it gets comforted is by not pursuing thoughts about it. One thought that's a distracting thought that's pursuing a thought about it is the thought, how do I talk with her? How can
Uh,
you know? It's spontaneous.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
See,
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing because in the moment there was a um I should know how to do this.
yay. See,
I
so
just
you see
saw
how these
that.
things just get missed sometimes.
Yep. Completely. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a matter of coming back. Here's a good one, Lori. I must be perceiving something. I
Mm,
must be having a misperception, or I must be mistaken, because
yeah.
any kind of confusion has to do with that. And as you're practicing seeing in this way, you're going to see more and more how you just know exactly what to say. And you always know exactly what to say because everything you say is for you. And look, you can't get it wrong, not even with the little girl, because whatever she interprets from your words is what she popped that into her field of experience. She popped it in there for herself. It really has nothing to do with you, and all that can be shared is love.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So as you allow that comfort in your body's energy field, that's what you're interacting with.
Got it.
Okay? And
Beautiful.
even if and even if you're confused in the moment,
Yeah.
even if you're confused, your confusion won't be shared. You'll be trying to teach it. be trying to teach confusion,
Yeah.
but it's up to that other creation, you could say,
Right.
which is also you, which is also you in the overall sense. But in the dream, that creation is also projecting. So whatever is projected from the perspective of that creation, the little girl, that's for her, and it's of her, and it's what she wants to see. Okay? So
Beautiful.
you cannot get it wrong. And knowing that you cannot get it wrong, all you can do is share love.
Right. 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 Thank you.
You too. I love you.
Love you too.
Yay. Lori said hi to you. We love our Braun. Okay, I'm going to the next written question, and then Braun or Bob, I see you, and I'll be with you too. I love you. Yay. I'll just leave you on for a minute, Lori. I was going to mute you, but I'm reading now. Okay, this is from, let me see. Mahalo for your insights. Oh, I love you, Kaunohi. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Aloha. If you feel open to it, I would love to hear what you think about diet or food in general. Does what we eat matter to our bodies? Mahalo. Mahalo to you, Kat. And if you'd like to ask questions about this or anything while I'm talking, feel free to raise your hand. Okay?
Question.
And Lori, you're with me, so you can always just chime in. You're good at that. Yeah. You know it. All right. All right. So yeah, this is something someone else on here, Lionel, asked me about this too. Lionel's on with me. Yay, aloha. Because I had a post on Facebook about how it's a distraction. When you feel any sort of Petronilla, I love you, thank you. When you feel any sort of indigestion in the body, any sort of indigestion in the body, it is not about food. You know why? Because food is a projection and your body is a projection. It looks like that. The question, the way you presented it, does what we eat matter to our bodies? Okay, yeah, I could say yeah. but here's the thing. The body and the food are both projections of the same mind. They're equal projections. They can't have an effect on one another, and in fact, they're completely unrelated. They are not related. We agreed to believe that they're related. We agreed to believe in it. And that's what even causes the hunger. Isn't that for fun? Isn't that what that's even what causes the feeling of hunger? Another false feeling. It's a false feeling. No, it doesn't mean that you don't eat. It doesn't mean you don't experience eating. That that's just occurs or not. It doesn't have to. It doesn't really have to. It can just be for fun. See? So it can be a sort of like a child. We've even had we've had Braun in this before. We have one video called Eating 101. Okay, and that's where Braun came in. I asked Braun, what do you eat? And
I eat things.
Eat the things.
Wow, I eat things and my body.
and his answer at that point was whatever I feel like eating or whatever I want. And then how much do you eat? And his answer was as much as I want. See?
I eat an amount.
This idea, conceptual eating comes from an idea that we've made up, that has been an agreement to make up, that these bodies are in fact real and they need to be fed. Okay? And out of that, they need to be fed the right things, and some things are poisonous, like they're using Roundup and shit like that. As if, you guys, okay? It seems really real because because when there's something like indigestion and your concepts tell you, oh, it's because you ate that wrong food combination or whatever it is. You ate too fast. You ate upset. Whatever. Okay.
Or ate too much.
Ate too much. Ate too much. I need to not eat so much. You didn't even have a choice in that. It's the silliest thing ever. And in fact, you had the perception of eating too much because of the belief that it was possible to eat too much. It's not a real thing. It's not a reality like that. Or you found yourself eating the wrong foods. You found yourself eating the wrong foods because of the concept that said there are wrong foods.
We'll call this one Eating 202.
Oh, we'll call it Eating 202. Maybe. I have no idea what the title will be. That comes later. It's fun to see what it will be. Okay. I see your next question, Kat. Thank you. So people keep coming around. I'm like, oh, what's that? So where were we? The diet, yeah. So the body can't even hold on to anything. It cannot hold stuff. This is another one that comes up, is like this thing about the body detoxifying or having something like heavy metals in it. I know one friend who believes very strongly that she has absorbed many chemicals from using makeup her whole life. So there's all these kinds of procedures that she's doing to get all the makeup chemicals out of her body. One of them is rubbing pure essential oil right on her skin, which I don't recommend, by the way. I mean, small kind, a little perfume kind, but like taking it and put it on your face, it's not, not really recommended. You can do it if you like it. If you feel like you have some chemicals to detoxify, then you're gonna find yourself doing some things. You're gonna find yourself doing some interesting things, and you may find yourself doing some things that are incredibly uncomfortable. Okay. Incredibly uncomfortable. Not because the thing itself is uncomfortable, but it's the mind that believes that it must have something punishing now to cleanse itself, to purify itself. You must have something uncomfortable now to purify yourself. Okay. So here's the thing. If there's the idea that the food or the chemicals or whatever caused you to feel that uncomfortable sensation, then you're distracting yourself. You're distracting yourself from seeing the root cause of what actually caused this sense of uncomfort in the body. Distraction or indigestion is the same as any kind of uncomfort in the body. It's all the same. It's to try to get you to believe, because that's what you wanted. That's how you set up the ego, to always try to get you to re-believe, because it needs to be held up by thought, that this body is real. And what makes it seem real is blaming any uncomfortable feeling on another manifestation, as if a manifestation can affect a manifestation. Okay. So it's a distraction. Thought that, oh my God, what did I eat? Or I need to change my diet. Or I ate too fast, or I ate too much. I ate with the wrong feeling. That's getting a little bit closer. That's getting warmer.
Vanilla.
But it's a distraction away from what it is, because this is always an attack of the ego. Basically, you could say you made the ego to attack you with fear and its manifestations. Indigestion is a fearful manifestation.
I'm so scared.
If you take it as true, if you take it to be true, then you're projecting it. And in the projecting, that makes more of the same.
It's so scary.
What's that?
It's so scary.
Yeah, it gets to be a scary dream instead of a happy.
Scary.
Yeah.
I'm sure scared.
Yeah. I'm sure scared. Yay. Yay. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
Vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla, so comforting. Vanilla reminds me of the comfort that's available to you. You know, the aroma.
It also smells good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it smells good. All right, so here we go with thank you for bringing up indigestion. Perception got me thinking about the relations and projection in the body mind. Yes, this is really a deep rooted one, which really means nothing. It doesn't mean it's because it's deep rooted that now you have to take a long time to undo it or anything. That's all up to you. But it's deep rooted in that what I mean is it's had a lot of thought. It's received a lot of thought agreement, you can say, because over and over again, all throughout the day, this comes up. As we find ourselves eating, we find ourselves feeling the effects apparently of what we ate. You cannot feel effects of what you ate. You cannot feel effects of what you ate. You can only feel effects of thought. Okay? Food is just a thought form. It has no effects on its own. It has no effects on its own. Thought forms have no effects on their own. It's your thought about it that gives it an effect. It's your thought about yourself that gave it an effect in the first place. So let's look at it like this. The projected is this sense of indigestion. That's the projected. That's the past playing out. The projection is what's going on right now, what you're projecting. Let's say the projecting, to make it more clear. What's happening right now is projecting. So whatever you're taking it to mean is what's projecting right now. So if you take the projection of indigestion to mean that the food did it, or it's because of what you ate, or all of the other things that have to do with that, then you're projecting more separation. You're projecting more reality to this body that's vulnerable to things like indigestion, which is really like an itty bitty, not so itty bitty, but itty bitty warm up for death. It's like, see, here, death is real. Here it comes. This is one sign that you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to worldly things. You're vulnerable to things like age and disease. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? That's what you're projecting. You're projecting whether you believe it or not. You can see that thought arise. You can witness that thought arise and not resist it or anything. Oh, what's that like? Let me get the feeling effect of that. Let me get the feeling effect of it. Okay? Instead, I'll share a story with you, a short story that might help to be a pointer for you. When I was hanging out in California with my family on a little trip, okay, my husband and my bigger kids went out. And I was in my sister-in-law's house with my younger son, who was probably 8 at the time. Okay. All of a sudden, there was an attack, as I call it. There was an attack because there was a thought process that said, I'm trapped. I'm in California. I want to be out doing things, but I'm trapped. I'm here with this guy, and they're out. They're having a good time. And you know what happens? It's like seeing this as an attack. It's still playing out. It's still playing out. I'm not resisting it. I'm getting the feeling of it. I'm getting the intensity of it and watching how it's playing out. Not getting the intensity of it too in certain places. It's too much to feel. Okay, there's a little projecting going on. There's some projecting happening. Okay, it's okay with me. It's okay with me because all the time I'm watching the show. I'm only watching the show. There's nothing I can do about it, but be in awareness of what is transpiring, what is actually transpiring. So then I find myself eating some stuff, just some random stuff. I wasn't feeling particularly hungry, but eating some random stuff. And, according to concepts that I've heard and must have believed as well, all of a sudden there was indigestion. And there was a thought like, well, that was the worst combination of food you could have chosen. And it's like immediately the flag goes up and it's like, that is complete bullshit right there. It cannot possibly be about the food. And then automatically it was revealed to me so clear, the cause and effect. So clearly the cause and effect. What made me eat that food? What made me go for that food? What motivated that? Look at what motivates everything. What motivates everything is thought. There's attack. And through the projecting, the part there where there was the parts where there was projecting, because it was a going back and forth to, wow, this is projecting and then projecting. Wow, this is projecting and then projecting. There was a going back and forth like that. The parts that were projecting were setting me up for punishment. So I couldn't help but eat those foods. I couldn't help it. And those were the perfect foods for me to eat to get that feeling effect, because in my mind, according to my beliefs, that would be the worst food combination. Or that would be representative of a bad food combination. So because of that, I had the faith for eating these foods would give me indigestion. So it's perfect. It's perfect to show what punishment is like, what it's like. And you can't help it. You can't even help it. You can't help punishing yourself. You cannot help punishing yourself if you're projecting for punishment. So you see how I was projecting for punishment. I couldn't help it. And then at the same time, the indigestion has absolutely no power over me. As soon as I'm like, oh no, it cannot possibly be that food. And as soon as it's recognized what it actually is, it's gone in an instant. It's gone in an instant.
Mm.
The effect cannot support itself. It cannot support itself without belief. Okay, that's which brings me to, what I've been sharing lately and recently yesterday on Wisdom Dialogues in person. You have the power to heal the sick and raise the dead. Okay, but for the belief, but for the cherishing of the belief that sickness and death are part of life, as if this is part of some grand cycle even made by God, even created by God. It's not created by God. It's made up out of the belief that you're separate from God. Okay? So once I immediately saw that there was no way, it didn't even feel like I had anything in my belly anymore. I felt empty and happy and so glad. And so glad that none of that stuff was even true.
Mm.
And then I could see the beauty. And then I could experience the beauty. Wow, there's a really nice jacuzzi here with a waterfall, lawn chairs, it's California, there's a backyard. Also, there's Uber. You can't even see possibilities. It's so funny. Because the mind narrows everything down.
Mm.
The ego mind narrows everything down to you being a victim.
Right.
And it's victimhood, it's belief in victimhood that causes the indigestion. It's not anything else. Okay?
Mm. And it doesn't let you see the possibilities that are there beyond.
The possibilities for your enjoyment.
Right.
See? And here's the other thing, everything's changing. Say it's a situation where you're like, man, I really don't think I would see any possibility for enjoyment. Say you're in like a jail cell or something. You're like, man, I just don't see any possibility for enjoyment. Let me tell you, it does not matter, because wherever you are, that's where the freaking party's at. That's where the fun is. You bring the fun to everything in any situation, and everything is constantly changing. It's amazing. The ego tries to inform you that this is how it is. Oh, well, this is how it is. Even, oh, well, this is how it is. We all just die. Death is inevitable. We all just die here. It's like, come on, man. We made that up. And we can unmake it. That's the thing. We can unmake it. And all of your loved ones who've passed, and when it's unmade, you'll realize that they actually never passed anywhere. They're right here with you. You're always communicating with them. And you know what? In a form you can recognize. This is the real world I'm talking about, the real world. Okay? My sweetie, call Nohi. Perception got me thinking relations of, projections and the body mind. That's right. It's keeping it in place. Those projections keep the body image as if it's real and as if it's vulnerable to effects of the environment. It's not vulnerable to the effects of the environment as if it's vulnerable to the effects of other people, of food, of war, of anything. You know, like this one I heard, really good one. This AI thing. All these experts are saying that this AI, what is it? What does it stand for, Lori? Something intelligent.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Okay, this artificial intelligence thing. Oh, this is the most fearful thing ever. These guys could take over and ruin us. It's like, oh, really? Well, I was hanging around when they were talking about a nuclear bomb doing that. So give me a break now, all right?
The millennium thing, the thing, remember the horrid disaster was supposed to happen when Y2K,
Oh, yeah.
that was supposed to be so horrible.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I was so scared I dressed up like Cyndi Lauper.
What?
Yeah, it was a party. And Tony was Ozzy Osbourne. Maybe I'll find that photo. Well, it went under the lava, but maybe someone has a digital. I don't know.
Oh, did it go to the lava?
Oh,
You-
yeah, all of our photos did.
You didn't take
Yeah.
them out. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much nothing of personal effects got evacuated. Just the business did. And then they said no more coming over here because the lava's too close.
Ah.
But yeah, I remember it. It was awesome. Anyways, yeah. So let me see. I will get back to Bob. Write to me and tell me if yours has something to do with food or not. And if not, I'm gonna keep on going because I have these food ones on here, and then get back with you. Okay?
I want you about
what's up?
you were talking about punishment.
Yeah.
What did you mean by punishment? You mean
Okay. Well, it's anything where you're feeling uncomfort.
right.
See?
Suffering. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically suffering. And a body suffering is a big one because indigestion, that's just one form of, you could say, sickness. Sickness.
Yeah.
A pimple is also a form.
Yeah.
You get a pimple
Yeah.
and maybe it hurts. It's
Yeah.
punishment. And look how the ego projects about something like that. Wrinkle, you could say, is another one. Okay? It's like, but it's the way you take it that makes it either punishment or healing. Okay? It's the way you take it. Any kind of sickness, any kind of illness, that's intended by the ego as punishment. And here's why it's intended as punishment, because you made the ego to help you see the effects of, I deserve punishment. Because it's the belief is that you separated yourself from God, and in that you must deserve punishment. So, these things are to show you what it's like, what the effect of that thought would be in a manifest world. See? But then I say would be and not what it is, because it's not real.
Right.
It's not real. And it's reversible in one instant. It's just that there's faith in something else. There's more faith in something else for a short time. And it is a very short time. It may seem like a long time, but in the scope of eternity, it's like a mist that's passing. It's nothing at all. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. All right. So then we have Kat again. I feel curious why our bodies hold on to weight. Just to be a distraction, They don't hold on to weight. They don't. It's not even possible. There's nothing in it. It looks like there's something in it. Like if you cut it open, you're going to see fat and blood and all the organs and all these other things. But I am telling you, this thing is like mist. It's not anything. It cannot hold on to weight. It does not hold on to weight. Basically, you're holding up a perception. You're holding up a perception of the body that can hold anything, that can be anything but perfection. And by perfection, I mean there isn't even any blood in it, okay? There's no inside of it even, okay? It just manifests to you as, wow, Can't get cut open. That's impossible to cut it even open. Okay, so it cannot hold on to weight. It's just like you're, looking in this way of, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. For different people, it's different things. You could say, I'm afraid of being fat. Oh, I hate being fat. Oh, I need to control my weight. Okay, if you feel like you need to control your weight, you're gonna have a really hard time.
No
I'm
shit.
sorry. That's how it is. Some people think that they get really good at controlling their weight. They have a regimen for it. They have a certain eating thing for it. Okay, great. But still, that's suffering. That's punishment. Why should you have to? Come on now. Well, let me just find the right formula so I can have my body in the right shape. Why should you have to? You're not even that important that you have to do something like that. You're not a doer. You don't do anything. If you did manage to get your body into a shape that pleases you, it's because you had faith that whatever you did worked. You had faith that whatever you did worked. How fun is that? Because you know what? That means you got to keep that up. You got to keep that up and don't mess it up. I used to have the notion, the belief, and I'd share it with other people too and try to teach them that if I didn't do X, Y, Z, if I didn't work out every day and really watch my diet, I would just be fat. And then one day, I was like, what am I saying? What the heck am I saying? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. How can I be responsible for the form my body's in? That's not the promise of heaven. That's not the promise. How can I be responsible for that? I'm not responsible for that. That's consciousness playing out. And who gives a shit? That's the other thing. Because see, if I perceive my body in a way that doesn't please me, I can be damn sure that I made that up. Basically, you could say that that's like sickness. It's mental illness. I am not perceiving myself as I am. I'm not perceiving myself as I am. I'm perceiving myself as an image. Okay? So here's how it transpired for me when my son, who's now 10, who you saw behind me if you're watching the video, my son, who's now 10, when he was born, I found myself weighing in at around, I think, 200 pounds. My height's about 5'3", so you can guess I was pretty round. Okay? Pretty round, looking pretty round. And not only that, but after you may or may not know, after a baby pops out, there's the perception of this big hanging belly hanging down, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, I recognized that I wasn't even motivated to try to get this thing in any kind of shape. I wasn't even really motivated to try like that. Not like that. Not like that. So, don't get confused when I say this. I found myself on Amazon.com looking for a yoga video that had something to do with abs. Okay? And it seems like a contradiction because I said I'm not even motivated to try like that. I'm not motivated to try like that. As in, I'm not motivated to take responsibility for it. But I am motivated, obviously, because I find myself looking for a yoga video that has something to do with abdominals. No problem. No problem. And I'm sharing this because there is no problem with using what's called magic. This is like magic. It's like a magic trick. It's fun. It was a total different energy than what I was used to. It was playful. Okay? And as I'm searching down Amazon, I see a DVD called, what was it called? Naval Power. Naval Power. Ooh, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds fun. Let me get that one. I get the DVD. Get the DVD in the mail and go, okay, Now, there's no pressure on me to do this DVD. There's not any pressure on me to have this DVD. For one, there's a newborn baby sleeping in my bed every night because we're doing this kind of parenting. It was called attachment parenting. Don't get confused with that either. It's not the kind of attachment you're thinking. But, you know, every morning I woke up, there's a baby in bed with me. A lot of the times he had my boob in his mouth, too. So there you are. If yoga is meant to be, if this tape is meant to be played, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up while the baby is asleep. And I'm going to feel motivated for it. I'm going to feel motivated. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel motivated. And if I don't wake up and or I don't feel motivated, the DVD is not going in. There's no responsibility on me to make sure I get this workout. I don't mind. I don't mind either way. The interesting thing, the most amazing thing, it was giving up this responsibility. I found that like 4 to 5 to 6 days a week, I was waking up and the baby was asleep, and I felt motivated to have this yoga. And, you know, that was exactly the magic that worked for my mind, because it was what my mind could accept without fear as being the cause of this body getting in shape. See? That's not really what caused the body to get in shape. The DVD wasn't what caused the body to get in shape. The working out wasn't what caused the body to appear to get in shape. What caused the body to appear to get in shape was faith that this particular workout was doing it.
Was going to work.
Was going to work. And so it appeared to work. But see, the pressure was off of me. This is one very important component, whether it applies to food or exercise. The pressure was completely off of me to make it happen. When I woke up in the morning, those mornings when yoga happened, it wasn't like, I gotta do yoga, shit, I don't feel like it. I was like, if there was any inkling of I don't feel like yoga, I'm kicking back. I'm just kicking back. Because for me, it does not matter what shape I find the body in. It's all playful. I mean, you don't know. You could perceive this thing as having a cut off arm the next day. You don't know. It's not up to you. It's not up to you like that. The perceptions are just coming. They're just coming. What is up to you, if you're perceiving a cut off arm, that the arm isn't actually cut off, and you acknowledge that. That's impossible. That's impossible. And if you believe it powerfully enough, if you believe it with enough faith, that arm will appear back. Okay? Isn't that for fun? Nothing that you perceive is permanent. Nothing that you perceive is permanent. There's only eternity. And there's only the creation in eternity, created as perfect and invulnerable to any form of harm. That includes aging. That includes death. Okay? So, Kat, I don't know if I fully addressed your question regarding weight there. If you'd like to raise your hand, you can. If you want to follow up, you also can. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Kaunohi, I see your question, and I'll be right to it. But it's time for Bob Shine, baby. Bob Shine, coming online. Unmute that guy.
You can take
Yeah, Bob.
All right, Bob Shine online. Isn't he fine?
Feeling sublime.
Yes, sublime. So I'm so happy I could join you today.
Me too, Bob. Thank you.
Yes.
Take
Thank
me
you.
off if you want.
What's that?
You can take me off if you want.
Okay. You're off.
So I've been thinking about this question about evolution. So is evolution a legitimate thought about life? You know, we talk about how we see humanity has evolved. Women were abused, black people were segregated in slavery, and people are getting freer, more conscious, more together in their life, and evolution. Everyone goes through childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. They say that humanity is goes through these different phases, that we're in a phase of like adolescence moving into adulthood in our evolution as a human species. And so and then we talk about, well, the more that we free ourselves of ego and self-preoccupation, the more fun and light and carefree the dream becomes. It seems like everything becomes lighter, more effortless. So is this evolution something valid or legitimate, or is this just like a dream that we just wake up from? There's no thought about evolution or progression, that the whole thing is just a dream that we wake up from, and then we're out of it.
Yeah, well, the waking up, that could happen in any instant, the full on waking up. But for most of us, we don't want a full on waking up. We want to put kind of like a slow, dramatic, kind of scene, and that's fine, and nothing, no problem with that at all. Also, for the most part, people don't want to wake up from the dream. People like to wake up in the dream and start making manifestations and getting things that they want in the dream, which is nothing compared to waking up from the dream. I've been given visions lately of what it is, what the real world is, what it is that's underneath this painting that we made. And I'm telling you, there's no painting that you can make that can even compare to it. It can even compare. So, the idea of evolution, what makes it delusional is that, like, as if you have to go through a certain process, as if you have to go through, oh, it's getting better, but will it get even better? And look at this. Everyone's having a different perception. There's plenty of people who think it's getting worse. Okay? So that may be your perception. That may be your perception that it's getting better, and your perception that it's getting better, that's caused by your own mind. Okay? So you're having the perception that it's getting better. That's your own unlearning. That's your own unlearning of beliefs that make you out to be separate. Okay? That's what, like, A Course in Miracles calls that the happy dream. It changes into the happy dream. It's like, whoa, everything is unfolding so beautifully, But watch, because there's all kinds of traps in that. There's all kinds of, oh, let me just stay here for a little while. Well, still, if you're staying here for a little while, you're going to have a death experience too. Do you want that? I mean, a lot of people do. I hear people say yes all the time. Yes, I do. And also, I want to see my loved ones die. That's good for me. That's fun for me. So it's romantic, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But if you want to see all the way through, to eternity, and let me tell you, eternity is awesome. It's not like people paint this picture of eternity like, what would we do if we didn't have manifestations? There would just be nothing. It's like, no. There would be nothing in the way that you imagine things to be. Be nothing in the way that you imagine things to be. But let me tell you, here's one thing that came to me today. There is no sun and there's no rain in eternity. There is no sun and no rain. You know why? Because you're the light. You are the light. And it's never too strong. It doesn't hurt your eyes. You don't have to squint in it. You don't have to squint in your own light. Okay? You don't need any sunglasses. What else? There's no rain because there's no need for rain. The ground is just watered. Okay? There's no cycles. There's no women getting periods. There's no babies being born. There's no babies being born. There's no bodies coming out of other bodies. Okay? There's just creation. There's creation. Individual creations interacting playfully, lovingly, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Always expanding in love, always communicating in love. Oh, you want to eat some fruit? It's all available. The trees are healthy all the time. There's no winter. There's no shedding of the leaves. There's no needing to do any gardening. There's no work to be done. There's only play. Play, 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 like a child. Okay? So this thing about wanting to get something in this world where work is required, where sleep is required, where darkness is required, where clouds and rain are required. You know, the light in the real world, it's always so comfortable. It's always perfect. It always feels good. There's no need for a change in it to make you know what you want. Sound familiar? In this kind of dream, you have to know what you want. You have to learn what you want by experiencing what you don't want, so you can get clearer on what you want. That's what experiencing what you don't want is for. Yeah? You've probably heard that before. Well, here's the thing. In the real world, you don't need any of that. You don't have to work for any of it, because what you are is what you want. And all you can have an experience of is what you want. And no, it doesn't get boring. It doesn't get boring, as you might have been told, to always have what you want. It just doesn't. There's no such thing. It's playful, playful, playful. And what makes it playful is that you're interacting with other creations that have the same source as you are and are not, and know they're not separate, just like you. Just like you know that they're not separate. So every interaction is loving. No kind of thought of separation can enter this kingdom. No thought of separation can enter this kingdom. So it is not possible to have rudeness or conflict, okay? Or any kind of sarcasm even. There's no communication like that. There's only communication in love. So as there's more willingness to be like who you really are, naturally, your perception, your dream, it's going to become happier. The people who come to meet you in the mind are going to be more loving toward you. You'll be able to, let's say, you'll be able to perceive them as more loving. What they project is more loving too, because they can only meet you where you are in the mind. Okay? It's like, say someone's a murderer or a pedophile. Let's go with pedophile. That one seems to be the one that wants to be talked about right now. Let's go with pedophile. Even with that, someone who has that kind of intention must resonate with the so-called victim. Okay? This is not victim blaming as you might think. It's not like that one bit. The victim is innocent. Victim is innocent. The quote-unquote victim is innocent. Innocence. It's all innocence, though. It's an energy exchange. It's energies interacting. The one that's playing the role of victim has accepted energies. Even if they can't think in words, in terms of words yet. Even if they're less than 2 years old, they cannot think in terms of words. They are still all powerful from their perspective as the mind. They're not actually a baby. Even though they don't understand this world yet, they haven't been taught to understand this world yet, they still are making choices. Whether or not to accept that energy, that kind of vibration as meaningful, as true, as meaningful. That's what I mean. Can only interact with someone who matches your vibration. So if they're projecting a pedophile energy, that energy needs a partner to engage with. And that partner comes as a matter of choice. It is not blame, and if you take it like blame, then you won't be able to see through. Okay? Won't be able to see through your own kind of projections, your own projecting that's attracting illusions of harm. One illusion of harm could be someone seems to be judging you even. Okay? There's really no difference. There's differences as far as the mind and consciousness goes, as far as how we're looking at it and how it seems so harmful. You know, one thing especially harming a child, the perception of a child being harmed, as opposed to someone giving you a dirty look or something like that. But I'm telling you, it's the same. To paint a picture onto creation, to make it out to be something else, something different, that is a choice. And it's an energetic choice. And if you see that it's an energetic choice, you're willing to see, let me say when you're willing to see, because it's required that you see. It's required, as in it's gonna occur. Maybe not in the perceived lifetime. It's going to occur though. Okay, that you see what's going on. You have the understanding of what's occurring, so that you can feel its cause. And let me say also, if you have the perception of a pedophile and a young child being victimized by a pedophile, if you have the perception of that, and you take it as if these perceptions are separate from your own mind, you're projecting it. You're projecting it. That's what you're responsible for, is what you're projecting. You're not responsible for the projection as it is, as it appears. Pedophile victim, that's how it appears. That's the projection. You're not responsible for the projection. You know why? Because the choice you had for that was in the past. And you know what? The past does not exist. Only this instant exists. What you're responsible for right now is what's projecting from you. What's projecting from you? Are you taking them to be separate from your own mind? Because if you're taking these people to be separate from your own mind, then you're projecting for more of the same. And right now, that's what you're responsible for, and that's all. Okay? So, hooray. Okay, Lori, you're going to bed? Good. Good night. I love you. Thank you. See you next week. All right. So, Bob, have I
Yeah.
answered your question?
Yeah, so then if you're going to be into evolution, then it seems like the inevitable outcome of evolution is death, basically. If you're into birth, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, then the next step is old age and death. So
Yeah. Well, the cycles. The
yeah.
cycles. And they've been called the cycles of creation. No, no, no. They're not the cycles of creation. They're the cycles of manifestation. Manifestation denies creation. There's no cycles in creation. Okay? There's no such thing as cycles. Even your moon cycle, the moon and its cycle, okay, that's made up. That's make believe. There are no cycles. There are no planets. That's another thing. There are no planets. The silly debate about whether the Earth is round or flat, total distraction. Okay, it does not exist except as a projection of the mind. Okay, there's no need for that. There's no need for that. Creation doesn't need to be in any kind of shape or anything, because it's just an interaction that goes on and on. Everything's there wherever you need it, okay? Everything's where you need it to be, and everything's where you want it to be. Yay. Okay.
Okay, this is just where I want it to be, right here with you right now.
Yay.
All right, well, thank you,
Okay.
Hope.
I love you.
See you
Thank
soon.
you. Okay. Yeah. All right. That was Bob. Bob Shine. He's the one who really got me started. Started going, Hope, I want you to come talk in person. And that was a couple years ago now. So thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. It's been really fun. And what a fun adventure. Yay. Oh, that's a good one, Kono. She said, thank you, Hope. Wow, some insight on projection. Okay, so check it out too. This is really fun. So in this illusion, it is projection. It's all projecting. It's all projecting. Okay? It's a matter of what will be projecting. What thought system will we be projecting from? Are we projecting from the thought system designed of the ego that's all fearful? that says that our bodies are susceptible to harm. Okay? Are we projecting that? Or are we projecting the thought system that's right alongside of it, totally available, the thought system of love, of purity, of innocence, of eternal nature? Eternal nature. Eternal nature means there is no cycles for nature. There are no cycles for nature. All the fruits you've ever experienced and more, and vegetables too, if you're into that kind of thing, are just available. The tree is always producing ripe fruit. Always ripe fruit available. Beautiful ripe fruit. None of them have worms in them or anything like that, okay? They're always beautiful, ripe roses without thorns. Roses without thorns. You don't need punishment. You don't need a thorn. You don't need to be bit by a bug, okay? This is all make-believe. I played around a lot, too, with being bit by bugs, sitting in Vipassana meditation. That's a 10-day meditation where you're sitting for 10 hours each day in the rainforest here in Pune, rainy season. Yeah, and there's the occasion to get bit by lots of bugs. So hooray. Yeah, there's the occasion to get bit by lots of bugs. And what was seen in that is that there is no bug. There is no bug. The bug is a complete manifestation of the mind. So in recognizing that, there could be the perception of a bug biting without projecting. Without projecting. When there's the perception is projection, yeah? But this is in the past. This is a past projecting. So past projecting. When that projection is present, has arisen, you can say, and that projection has arisen, and there's no projecting about it, the bug bite is no problem. It's no problem. And in fact, I started noticing fewer and fewer bugs. But when there was a bug bite, there was so much sensitivity to it, I wouldn't move. I wouldn't find myself moving. I could sense the bug landing on the skin. I could sense whatever it is that it sticks in. I could sense it because it's just a sense. It comes down to that. It's just a sense. Whatever it is sticks into the skin. I could sense the fluid going in, and then the whatever sharp thing, I could tell it was sharp. It was definitely a sense that it was sharp. Came out again, and the bug left. But it's all sense. It comes down to sensation. When it comes down to sensation like that, one, it's not a problem. Two, you're not projecting for the ego's thought system to be made manifest. So you're not projecting for more bugs. You're not projecting for more bug bites. It's really an interesting thing. It's really an interesting thing how that works out. Because the rain didn't stop or anything. We were in a big, huge meditation tent, apparently. So it's not like there was some kind of physical reason for the bugs to slow down and by the end just stop biting completely. But there was not projecting because there was a willingness to be with the uncomfort. In this meditation where you're sitting still and not moving, there was a strong intention to not move. There was a strong desire to sit there and not move and experience all of the sensations. It felt so confining. Like I was confined, like I was so trapped. I'm sitting still and things are biting. But through that and allowing the intensity of that emotion to play out in my body's energy field, it eliminated the need for it. There's just no need. There was just no need. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe to another eye, there were bugs landing on me. I just couldn't get the sense of it. Maybe to another eye, another perception, there were bugs landing on me, and I just couldn't even get the sense of it because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't even necessary. So hooray. All right, Petronilla. How can one explain to another that whatever they are projecting is not affecting you, but being sensitive to their feeling? Well, see, here's another one of those kinds of questions, Petronilla. It makes you into a doer once again. It makes you into a doer. How can I explain? How can I explain? You don't. You don't explain. Let the source speak for you. Let your source speak for you. It may or may not be appropriate for them to hear that. That's not up to you. That's not up to you. In your own body's energy field, what is your responsibility, you can say, is over what's projecting from you. It's always over what you're projecting from you. So here's the question again. How can one explain to another? Okay, there's not another. So that's a thing, like when I come with you guys, wisdom dialogues, or see you in person or anything like that, I don't take you to be another. I don't take myself to be a teacher. I don't take myself as having any burden to get anything across to you. Okay, because it's anyways, it's your interpretation of what I'm saying. That's whatever you're going to learn. And you're going to learn whatever you're seeking. It's not up to me. And you're not unhealed. So I don't have to heal you either. You're not unhealed. Okay? Whatever they are projecting is not affecting you. Well, you know what? They'll be able to see that. They'll be able to see that because you cannot help. You cannot help but reflect the balance of how you feel. You can't help it. You don't have to tell them that it's not affecting you. In fact, you're only talking to yourself. So if I find myself in a situation where I feel like I need to tell someone that whatever they're saying, say they're saying, Hope, you know what? You're an idiot. The things you post on Facebook, you're freaking wrong. You got it all wrong. I don't really feel the need to let them know that that doesn't affect me. It's just simply can't possibly affect me. But if I feel affected, that'll be apparent. And not only will that be apparent, but I will be made to act it out. I'll be made to get in an argument with them. How can you say that what I'm saying isn't true? How can you say that I got it wrong? You got it wrong. See? It'll just automatically flow like that. It's an automatic flow. So I can't help it. There's not anything I could do about it. And then the other part, but being sensitive to their feeling. Okay, here it is. Here's how we're so connected. It's so beautiful. Whatever they're feeling, whatever they're going through, you're connected to it. You're so connected to it that whatever you're feeling in your body's energy field is what you're teaching. Teaching or sharing? Teaching or sharing? That's the difference. Teaching, and what can you teach? Mental knowledge. Mental knowledge. It's worthless. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Okay? That's what you can teach. Mental knowledge. Nothing. The words that I say right now, they mean nothing. They're not even true. Okay? But what's shared here is the only real feeling, which is love. So if I'm in an interaction with a person and it's obvious that they're feeling upset to me, it's obvious to me that they're feeling upset, I tune right in to what my reaction is. What reaction is coming up for me? Because I can't reach across. There is no across. I can't reach across and fix their feeling for them. But I'm experiencing some kind of feeling in response. And if it's not pure love, it can't even be shared. It can't even be shared. It's not pure love. It can't be shared. It's not pure love if I think that I need to explain something. And the reason it's not pure love if I think and believe. Let's put and believe in there because thinking, it can come and pass. and believe that I have to explain something to them, it's burden. It's a burden. It makes me into something I'm not. It makes me into an individual. It makes me separate in my mind only, in my own mind only, separate from my source. Because now I've got something to do. All of a sudden I'm a doer. And it's like, in that instance, what occurs for me is just almost like taking this little hope who feels like she needs to learn how to explain something over to the thought system that resonates with the truth. Just taking her right over there to the thought system that resonates with the truth. And then I'm at peace. And from peace, we share. Our minds aren't separate. Our minds are not separate. Okay? They're not. But as an individual, you have no power to help. No power to help. And thinking you have power to help, and believing that you have power to help, let's say, it's trying to teach that you have power to help and that they need help. They don't. They don't need any help. That's actually a painting that's made. They're actually still in perfection, just like you. So the reaction that comes up in the body's energy field is meant as a guide. The reaction, like, how do I do this? How do I do this while still, being sensitive? It's like you don't have to. You don't have that responsibility at all. At all. Because love, which is what you are and what you deserve right now, can be shared automatically. And it is shared out automatically when you just allow it for yourself in your own body's energy field. All that's going on here is exchanging of energies. Okay? And in one way, if it's the ego's thought system, it's a teaching. Okay? It's a teaching. Whether or not it's learned is up to whoever's perceiving it. Whoever's perceiving that teaching, even if it's a little tiny baby, it's up to them whether they learn it. Okay? It's up to them whether they learn that teaching. That's coming from the ego thought system, and it's coming along with feelings that are false. False feelings. Feelings that deny that love is possible right now. Most people don't really understand what love is. Love is that we are so connected to our source that we're deserving of it right now, and it's available right now, and it's automatically shared as long as it's allowed. It's shared with every aspect of creation, every aspect of creation, and immediately. And it doesn't even, and this gift, it cannot go unreceived. It cannot go unreceived. Even if you perceive it as having gone unreceived, that's a misperception. It's always received. And it'll manifest itself in whatever way it needs to unfold the real teaching that comes from within. The only true teaching comes from within. The only true teaching comes from, you could say, your own Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit that knows you, that knows what thoughts you've followed into delusion. Let's say that. Knows which thoughts you followed it into delusion and knows exactly what it takes to pop you out of it. That's your teacher, not some projection in the world, not me or anyone else. Okay? So, hooray. Petronilla, have I answered your question? If not, write me or raise your hand, okay? I'd love to go deeper with you anytime. I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining. All right. I don't know if I have anything else here, but I'm going to take a quick perusal and see if any questions came in while we've been online. Nope, no questions came in since we've been online. So if anyone has another question for me, please raise your hand or write to me and I'll be happy to take it. I've got another 25 minutes for that. If not, I'm going to start unwinding the show. That's fun. So here's, let's see, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and let's say Kaunohi, you said powerful wisdom. You guys, You know what wisdom is? It's emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. It's not something that you gain. This is not something that you gain. It's just that you know, because you know where the love is. You know where to go for the love. Okay? Yay. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. I love being with you. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, so I'll close out by saying that Wisdom Dialogues is sponsored by Miracle Botanicals. Miracle Botanicals is an essential oil company that was founded by me. Woo! Apparently, and run by my family. We also have some wonderful, wonderful community members that come here and help us with shipping and communicating with customers. We all love essential oils so much. We have some new things coming up. One of them is cannabis indica. I'm really excited about this cannabis indica. I believe I will be buying it this week and have it available sometime next week. We already have cannabis sativa. They're both lovely, slightly different. People love it for pain and inflammation. Also have something called pain formula. You know, this is the kind of magic I like because it's so much fun. Something called pain formula. Something called, oh, thanks to Kaunohi, digestive flow blend. Also hit the market now because of the inspiration. Basically, it's cumin. It's cumin essential oil with moringa carrier oil, beautiful virgin moringa carrier oil. You take some drops on your tongue 10 times a day, 10 drops a day, one time a day. And it tastes pretty good if you like cumin. This kind of got a taco flavor. Aloha, Holly. Thank you. Thank you. Also have a blend called Integrity that's already available. Integrity blend, it came about right before the lava flow and showed me very clearly how I put everything there for myself just for healing. And it also smells incredible. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Another one coming up. Oh, our new argan oil. We're getting a new argan oil. Oh my goodness. Such a pure and fresh product. Not that we didn't have a beautiful argan before, but we are upgrading. Whenever we find the upgrade, yeah, it gets a Miracle Botanicals label on it because we love you and we're so happy to share with you all of the best when it comes to essential oils. We love it. And oh, Hawaiian sandalwood hydrosol. I'm getting a kick out of this one, big time. This is from this island, the big island of Hawaii. This is basically, usually it's called floral water, but Hawaiian sandalwood isn't made from flowers. It's made from the wood. It's made from the heartwood. And it comes from right here in the big island of Hawaii. It's steam distilled. The sandalwood essential oil is steam distilled, okay? So once the steam hits the bark for a little while, it causes the oil to collect to the top of the water, and on top and the oil on top of the water gets collected. What's left is the water. That water. It still has some essential oil in it, but the molecules are real small. They're way smaller, so they don't float to the top. They're suspended inside of the water. And I just spray this on myself randomly because it's so gentle, and it's got this Hawaiian. It'd be lovely if I could just spray you right now. I think I'm gonna put this in my purse. If I see you in person, remind me you're getting sprayed if you like it. It's amazing. I've been spraying it in my bedroom, and then I'll leave the bedroom, and I'm only spraying it on myself, not around the room. I'll leave the bedroom, come back, and be like, wow, it smells great in here. Yeah, it does. I really appreciate that one. That one's already on our website. You can search for it. You can just look new products. It should come right up. If it's done the way we planned, it will come right up if you hit new products. Otherwise, search for Hawaiian sandalwood or Hawaii even, it'll come up, or hydrosol, okay? Yeah, I love you so much. Wisdom Dialogues, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time until the time changes on the mainland, which is coming soon. Then it'll be 4 p.m., okay? I change it for the mainland folks because I have people way on the East Coast and I don't want to make it too late for them, okay? So we're going to do, or too early for them. No, it's not the East Coast. It's actually the West Coast. They need time to get off work. On the West Coast, people are working like mofos, okay? They can't make it right at 5 o'clock their time. They need till 6 o'clock. They're always working their butts off, so I give them that, all right? It'll change to 4 o'clock when the time change. 3 p.m. Hawaii time. Look for it. Join my Facebook group to get invited. Facebook.com/groups/wisdom dialogues. There's getting close to 100 videos on my YouTube channel now. To see those, just go to wisdomdialogues.org and it'll take you right there, okay? And you'll be able to see those videos. You can also subscribe. I love it when people subscribe. That's always really fun. Then you'll be notified automatically of the videos. You're also welcome to friend me up or follow me on Facebook. That is, wait, let me see what it is. I forgot what it is. Where is Hope on Facebook? Oh, facebook.com/Hope Akaya, Achaia Johnson. Okay, that's my middle name, Akaya. And you can friend me up or follow me there, or just look for Hope Johnson in Hawaii. I think there's only one of Hope Johnson in Hawaii. There's a lot of other Hopes here. Yay! Thank you so much. And I don't see any more questions. Yeah, your body is relaxing yes, hooray. Lots of water. Water is also an illusion, okay, Kaunohi? That's also an illusion. However much water you drink is how much water you need. Yeah, and also, whatever the pH of that water, it also has no effect on you. And at the same time, it's really fun to check the pHs, and you'll see that you're drawn toward a water that's most healthful for you. Okay? Because it's always, always, always an effect of your mind and not the effect of the thing. The thing has no effect. Remember, the thing has no effect, and you'll be able to have fun with it, even the water testing and all that kind of stuff, okay? I love you so much. Thank you. And until next time, aloha and a hui ho.